What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So look, y'all, I'm gonna do story time once again, and I do it a lot. So I don't know if I told this story one time, but I don't know if I repeated it. And if I did repeat it, so what? It's new people that came to the channel, that subscribe to the channel. And I thank y'all for rocking with me. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, hit the like button, leave comments after the video as well. I'm on the phone with my dog, my boy. My boy Shooter's in Africa. He's in the army right now, doing his thing or whatever. And so he doing this thing for sure. And we talking on the phone. We talking about Chicago, and he was like we were talking about like situations that happened while we were growing up. And he asked me, remember that situation where you was with the little boy and he ran on you and left you with them dudes who's trying to mess with you, right? And I'm gonna get into that story. But first, let me preface my story by saying this, right? When I tell these stories, y'all, this is just a part of the environment that I grew up in. And it was terrible that some of this stuff happened. But and it shouldn't have happened. But I don't want it to discourage people from visiting Chicago. It's a beautiful city with a whole lot to do, amazing food, great culture here. And a lot of this stuff was happening in pockets within the hoods of Chicago. Not when most people come to Chicago, they going downtown, they going to Hyde Park, they going up north, all in the tourist attraction areas. Ain't nothing gonna happen to y'all there. Y'all gonna have a good time and stay and have a lot of fun, right? So I don't want it to scare people from coming here, because people think if you come outside in Chicago, somebody just gonna shoot you, which is definitely not the damn case, right? But anyway, let's get to the story at hand. So this happened. This is seventh grade year. Seventh grade year. Last day of school. I'm coming home on a school bus. My little sister is in kindergarten, but they had a kindergarten little graduation for them a couple of days prior to that. So school ended for the kindergartners like a week prior to the last day for everybody else. So my little sister my grandmother was babysitting my little sister, something like that. So I'm getting off the bus today by myself, right? We pulling up because in Chicago you get picked up and dropped off at a local school by your house. In Chicago, is local schools all around, right? It's schools in every damn neighborhood. Just about it. So many schools here. You can find a school in every community, right? So I get dropped off at Arthur Ashe Elementary School on 85th and Ingleside. So as the bus is pulling up to drop me off after school to the school so I can walk home, I see these dudes all across the street. It's a group of them, y'all. It's about 6 dudes. And I whispered to my homie Kiefer. I just posted my brother Kiefer. I said, in the video, I was like, my brother is on NBA 2K23. It said Kiefer Sykes. That's my dog. Been my man since we was in 4th grade, right? Anyway, I'm on the bus with Kiefer. Kiefer is getting dropped off at another stop. But I'm like, hey, yo, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna see you this summer. And I'm like, yo, I got to cross the street. Them dudes on this side of the street look like they on some BS, right? So I get off the bus, a little kid gets off the bus with me, right? And so normally, like, the little boy lives right up the street. But, I'm always there. He would be talking and playing with my little sister. He's a little older than my sister. But, they both were kids. He would be talking and playing with my little sister. I'd be talking to him. He was a little kid, cool little kid, right? And so sometimes I would we would walk home together, me and the little kid. He would go home and I would go on about my way, because I lived a little bit further from the bus stop, right? So me and the kid, we're getting ready to walk home. We crossed the street immediately because I knew something tell me in Chicago, man, when danger is imminent. So I crossed the street from where the other dudes, I crossed the street from the side that the dudes are on to the other side of the street. And then me and the little young kid, I'm walking home with him. But then as I'm walking home with him, I'm seeing the dudes across the street staring at me. I'm talking about staring at me like they seen the goddamn ghost. Or like a pack of hyenas seeing a pack of meat, right? And they just salivating at the mouth. Dude is tapping his homie like, hey, look at dude over here. Like I'm watching him. He tapping his man, telling him to look at me, right? So y'all, I'm like, oh fuck. I know what time it is at this point. So one of the dudes comes across the street and walks behind me and the kid. He said, hey, right? And I'm not trying to pay attention because I know what he on. He said, hey. So I finally turn around. He say, hey, what school you go to, right? So I tell him Turner Drew Language Academy, which is a school on 93rd and Preston by 95th and the Dan Ryan. It's an elementary school, though, not a high school. Let me remind y'all, these kids was probably about 16, 17. They much older than me. I'm 13 years old at the time, right? So I told him what school I went to. He asked me where you live at. I'm like down there somewhere, right? I'm not dumb enough to tell you exactly where I live at. I said down there somewhere. So he said, "Oh, so you think it's sweet, huh?" I'm like, "What?" I said, "Huh?" He said, "So you think it's sweet, huh?" I said, "Nah, man, I'm trying to get to the crib." Listen, the little boy that was with me, he heard that. "So you think it's sweet, huh?" He knew what time it is. He knew what time it was. Y'all, I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And as you can see, my feet are firmly cemented to the ground. When that boy heard that man, when that boy, little boy, heard that man or heard the boy say, "You think it's sweet?" He started taking out running like Forrest Gump in the damn movie. He said, "Oh no, I promise you, it was one of them. Oh no, oh no, and took off running, right? And I'm like, fuck. I wanted to run with the boy too. Shit, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't on no tough boy stuff, tough guy stuff. I wanted to run with him too. I wanted to get the hell up out the way. Cause I ain't got time. These dudes bigger than me, stronger than me. I'm 13 years old and I'm short, little chubby, little fat little kid, right? And I look like a baby in the face. So I'm thinking like this dude don't see that I'm a kid, but obviously he don't give a fuck, right? So so I decide, okay, if something, I normally cut through the middle of the blocks to go home, but I say, you know what, I'm gonna walk on the main street. So if something happens to me, I'm gonna walk towards the main street. So if something happens to me, that people probably would see something happening and hopefully get out their car. Hopefully they would get out their car and try to stop it. So I start walking, I'm walking, and then I hit the end of the block and I just take off running, right? And I hear dude say, "Hey, hey, hey," stop running, right? I'm running, and then something in me just stops. I just stop running immediately, right? I just stop. And I don't know, it's silly, stupid ass pride. I'm like, man, I ain't running from nobody. If I'm running from them one time, they gonna keep messing with me. I live over here, and then I don't want them to see where I live at. I ain't trying to nah. So I just stopped running, right? Y'all, I turn around. This dude is on a bike with a big ass dude about as big as my daddy, right? Dude, he on the back of a bike. Dude look big like Debo, right? He on the bike. The other dude that was messing with me, he on the bike riding on the back of the little on the bike with the dude. So then they pull up on me. I say, man, so y'all finna. I said, so what, y'all gonna jump me? Dude said, I'll fight you my damn self, right? He looked like Chris Paul. I hated Chris Paul for years simply for the fact that the dude that was fucking with me when I'm trying to go home looked like Chris Paul, right? So at this point, they start trying to size me up. Dude on the bike looked big as hell. I'm looking at him, but also looking at the little shiesty little dude. His teeth was fucked up. Looked like somebody took a shit on his teeth. His teeth were brown as hell. I'm not lying, y'all. That's what it looked like. So then he started talking to me and saying, dude say how old you? Dude say how old you is? And I says, I'm 12, right? Now, man, y'all, I told y'all earlier in this story I'm 13, but I tell them I'm 12 because if I had the teen at the end of my name, I might be old enough to get an ass whooping. And I ain't trying to get my ass whooped. I'm trying to go home, watch Maury Povich, right? Go watch all the sports shows I like to watch, eat some pizza that we got in the freezer, and chill out. Matter of fact, we had pizza puffs. You don't know what a pizza puff is? Google it. Chicago dish. And my mama used to buy them from, you can buy pizza puffs frozen. I used to put them in the oven, put the hot sauce on the joint, tear the pizza puff up, right? So I'm trying to get home. And I told him I'm 12 instead of 13. So the big dude that looked like Debo on the bike, he say, oh man, it's a little ass boy, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, they about to leave me alone. The little dude that looked like Chris Paul, he's still on the bullshit. He like, no, hold on. Dude, like, come on, it's time, let's go. It's a little ass boy. Dude that look like Chris Paul, like, no, hold on. Chill out. I'm like, fuck, right? So I had a little watch on that my mama got me. My mama used to give me these nice watches from Burlington Coat Factory. Watches be like $10, $5, sometimes $10, maybe $12, something like that. But they were really, really nice watches. So I got the watch on my wrist. Dude see the watch, said, let me get that watch though. I say, man, damn, I ain't trying to get this watch up. I love this watch. I wear this watch every single day. I said, man, I'm trying to say anything to distract him. I'm like, man, I'm just saying, man, I'm just trying to get home, man. I'm just trying to get to the crib, man. I'm just trying to get to the house. All I'm saying is I'm trying to get to the house. He's like, but let me get that watch though. I'm like, man, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to get to the crib, G. Right? I said, I'm trying to get to the crib, G. So, and during that time period in elementary school, we was going around saying G a lot as a term of endearment, right? A lot of the young kids was saying G as a term of endearment just to be silly and just saying G just to how we just talk to each other, like saying bro. G was like saying bro, right? But I'm from Gangbang, Chicago, the home of the Gangsters Disciples. To him, a little street little Negro like that, me saying G is me recognizing or me trying to acknowledge that I'm a member of the Gangster Disciples, right? And I'm like, he said, you said G? I said, no, I ain't say that. I ain't say. I said, no, I ain't say that. I ain't say that. He said, oh, I thought you said that, right? Then he asked me some silly ass shit. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with this little boy. I don't know what. He said, you a Crip? I'm like, Crip? What the fuck? This is not LA in my head. I'm like, this ain't LA. Ain't no Crips or no. Ain't no, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Ain't no Crips or no Bloods in Chicago, Illinois. It's not. All gangs in Chicago, Illinois, like most, like for real, and I'm gonna tell y'all to let y'all in on something. Majority of the black gangs, the major black gangs, other than the Crips and the Bloods is a LA thing, right? California thing. All the other major gangs were started in Chicago, Illinois. The headquarters here. So gang culture and it's always been gang infested here. You know what I'm saying? When certain communities was the Blackstone community, certain communities was GD communities, some communities was the BD communities, some communities was Vice Lord communities, some communities had the Four Corner Hustles, also known as the Foes. So when people say on Foe now, right? But anyway, so I'm like, I accidentally said G. He said, you said G? I said, no, I ain't say that. I ain't say that, right? He said, oh, I thought you said that, right? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to get to the house. So dude said, all right, man. He finally gave in and was just like, he ain't gonna mess with me. He like, hey, man, stay in the house, man. Stay in school, man. Stay in the house, man. It's stuff going on out here. Stay in school, man. Stay in the house, right? And I'm like, ain't this some bullshit? After you try to rob me and try to fuck with me, now you trying to give me some school advice. I mean, not school advice, some brotherly advice, bro. And you ain't trying to be my brother, trying to get on that with me, bro. I promise y'all, that whole situation after that, man, I power walked to the damn house. I'm talking about ready to put my key in the door. First, I'm nervous as hell because I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck just happened, right? I'm just like nervous, putting my key in the door. Like, man, I'm looking around. Like, I know these dudes. I hope they ain't even trying to still follow me or something like that, right? I get in the house. I call my mama, call my daddy. My daddy said, what? My daddy pissed the hell off. My daddy doing cable. Man, my daddy like, oh, hold on. He called me. He said, what the fuck? He said, nah, man, I'm going to be over here. My daddy came to the house later on that day, right? To my house where I was staying at. And so, to my mom's crib. And then, you know, he talking to my mama like, hey, you know, we got to keep a close eye on our boy because, you know, he getting to this age where certain silly shit is going on, right? And my mama like, thank God my boy had the smarts and, the wherewithal to say he was 12 and not 13 because that teen might get your ass whooped, might be old enough to catch a beating, right? So anyway, but yeah, bro, like, I remember that shit, y'all. Like, I promise y'all, I'm like, bro, that was crazy. I'm on the phone. I'm just like, I couldn't even watch damn Maury. I ain't even want the damn piece of puff. Didn't even want it. I called my homie I'm talking about. I called him, told him about what happened. My homie was always a big ass dude. All the times we was little kids. He had transferred at this point though. He transferred to school in the suburbs in Dalton. I think it was Dirksen Elementary School at this point. My homie Shooter. So he went out there and it was wild as hell out there. You thinking because it's the suburbs, it's nice? Hell no. South suburbs like Dalton, Harvey, Riverdale, all that shit going up because ain't nothing but project folks that ain't got relocated after gentrification occurred. The buildings got tore down. They sent the black folks that was from the hood out to the suburbs in order to let them fester and live out here while they go and try to get back into the city while condos and stuff are being built, right? So anyway, but my boy at this point, like my boy always he liked to fight, never was weary of a fight. He ready to what the hell? Ooh, he on the phone talking to me, whatever. But yeah, bro, like I promise y'all, Milton got up out of there on me. I said the little boy name. God dang. Anyway, so the next year, this is the last day of school, mind you. So when the first day of 8th grade comes, I walk to the bus stop with my little sister, Arthur Ashe Elementary School on 85th and Ingleside. I see the young boy I was walking with and his father. His father is there. Because his father used to come up there. His father would walk him to the bus stop in the morning time, right? And because he lived right there by the bus. He lived right by the bus stop, like a block up. And he was like, Malcolm, man, what happened, man? I heard about what happened on the last day. Did something happen? Did something happen? Was you okay? Because the father didn't have my phone number, nothing at the time, right? And I'm like, nah, I told him everything, they let me go or whatever, right? He said, man, next time that happen, man, come in there and ring the buzzer. Bro, I promise y'all, when them dudes trying to get down on me and when that dude was trying to follow me, I want to ring the buzzer and beat on the door so goddamn bad. Open the goddamn door. Let me up in here. I'm scared too. Shit, I want to run like you. But I had too much damn pride. I'm scared. I want to tell a little boy, I'm scared as hell too. Open the door. Tell your daddy come down here right now, whoop their ass for me. Because I'm scared, right? And this to the point, I remember this time I had my little phone, I had my cell phone, but I ain't want them to take the phone. I ain't want to pull it. I ain't want to pull it out. And then also, I remember this is a time when minutes wasn't free on your phone till after 9. But shit, I was gonna make that phone call regardless, right? But anyway, man, the dad was like, man, next time something like that happen, come to the door and ring our buzzer. My name right on that buzzer. Our name, last name on that buzzer. Ring that doorbell and come up in there with us, man. He's like, man, my boy, my son left you hanging, huh? He done ran out on you, left you hanging. Left you hanging. I say, man, it's cool, man. He a little kid, man. But promise y'all, my heart was racing. Talking about heart skipping a beat, like when you're feeling in your pocket and you can't feel your phone. That's how my heart was beating when that whole shit was going down. Scared as hell, man. But Chicago, we survived, and I had a lot of great times in the city, better times than that. Peace.